the people you worked with. My guess is that each medal, that there's somebody else behind that medal, somebody who sacrificed with you, maybe sacrificed everything. Can you pick one person from the stories of the medals on your chest? One person that when you look at that stands out, that you think of every day?
Tell you one story, but it's not so much connected with the medals, but with friends. People say that there's a syndrome after wars. Like, for example, I am 50 years old. Last generation of Yugoslavian army, we had psychologists working with us. We had 5 departments. The war itself, it doesn't influence me. You have an order, you did it, come back, and that's it. This is quite clear. You look at it as a job, as a work, but the friends that you lost and the kids that died on my hands. I had a child that died on my hands. That was in 2014 in Debaltsevo. I'm sorry, Ilovaiskaya place. And I knew that I would not leave it till I can fight. Medals, what the medal was given to me, I can't really share now. We have a funny story that intelligence, what is the same about the prostitute and an intelligence, but they can say a lot of things, but they can't say that. They can't share the data, the information. So my work as a guy in intelligence, as a spy, was in a territory of the enemy. We had a group of snipers from Germany and United States and Tashkent, connected with the last name Zakharchenko. Some kind of unknown people came in. Zakharchenko got me acquainted with them. They have to come here. Tashkent was the minister of the financial minister. So there was an information that he would be there, and you could see that they were seriously prepared. He looked at the weapons. He understood the story, so he was thinking about how to lay an eye on that weapon to fight face to face the professionals. When they had 8 groups and 2 people, it was very difficult. He just went from the back, and I did my job. Then I came back and I took special equipment that only United States had. Then we gave it to who needed that equipment, and I hope it was useful. But it's the work you get certain rewards for. But the best reward when you fulfill what you were told to do, and that's when Mr. Zakharchenko came to me and gave the medal to my hand. For the fighting, so for bravery at the field. I had 5 or 6 of those. I come back from the battlefield, he gives me the medal, shakes my hand, and that's the most important thing for me. More than a medal was meant to save the hearts, the lives of my people. I always walked in front of my fighters so they would come back. That's the main thing. That the youth that we had, the young people, that they won't go back. They would fight, and they would be back to the regular civil life, and it's very difficult also for them. And this medal says, if we say about the special operation, Kiev, Izum, Popasnya, and other positions and places, Avdiivka, others. I've seen it all. And I try to work in small groups, working correct with a sniper from intelligence. The people are coming after me, they would stay alive. I think I have 5 bullets went through me, 5 wounds from the near fight. It's when the enemy's machine gun hit me in the stomach. We destroyed that group. We came back to the first position, and there we didn't have, 1 person was missing. They gave us 6 people, special department, and where's your father? I said, well, we need to go back and find. Well, we can't go back. I looked He says, listen, we need to get back. You know, I'm alive, I can move, so they gave me a first medical help. You know, blood wasn't spilling, so two of us went back through fight, through the line. We were fighting. We figure out the first one actually ran away. But you can't, you know, that was the medal for here. The first one actually ran away. So then the blood started flowing out strong. I started losing my strength. That guy, Serbian guy, he also was in Russia. He's married. He says, Dan, you need to go. You need to leave. Two of us don't need to be dead. You go. And he says, no, either we two are gone, either we're dead gone. So, you know, I can't tell you, I can't express how that strength comes back to you. You have enough strength to pick up the machine gun, go back, and continue to fight. And we had special departments to go to. And I just fell down, I lost the conscience. You know, his words gave me the strength.
And these were words of a fellow Serb. So what you're telling me is that you weren't unique. You weren't the only foreigner fighting in the Donbass. My understanding is that yesterday I had the honor and privilege of speaking with Abdi Aladinov, the Lieutenant General of the Russian Army, commander of Akhmat Special Forces. And he speaks of the Akhmat Special Forces not just as a Chechen unit, but a Russian unit, Russian, all the nationalities of Russia, plus foreigners who come over to assist. What's your experience with foreigners coming to fight on behalf of the Donbass, on behalf of Russia?
You know, there we have foreigners starting from 2014, before special operation and after. Before 2013, we didn't have many, but they still were come, and they were from Balkans. And when the special operation started, only those, the ones that were in the army, it was forbidden to come for foreigners. Then Vladimir Vladimirovich he said yes, the foreigners can come. Then we had a problem. The problem is that nothing was organized. Okay, president gave a green light, but what to do next? Then by then I had another wound. I couldn't fight anymore because my back was hurt. And to my CEO, let's put it this way, I gave him a project how to do it right. He said, okay, you can't fight, but this is what you can do. Organize. So I was the one who organized first volunteers who would come, meet them at the airport, sign a contract with the Ministry of Defense, and getting the citizenship of the Russian Federation. And after 2 months, they would go to the front line and fight, because 99% that were coming, they were coming to stay here and live in Russia. If we talk about Balkans, we had Americans, we had French people, Germans, a lot of people were coming, but the problem was the selection from the Ministry of Defense. It was quite serious. They check you for drugs, for sickness, and 40% of people, we send them back. We need people who really can fight. If you can come here to sign a contract and do nothing, we don't need you. And that surprised me, because my personal opinion, you have to have a mobilization. I always said that. Because people are fighting, you need to change them at the front line. But when I go to front line, sometimes I go back and forth, and nobody wants to leave. The war is over, then we go home. It's quite, it's quite different. But a lot of foreigners, we had Americans, he came with a family, and he has 3 children, and people call me and they say, hey, listen, he's got 3 kids, he will get citizenship, he doesn't have to join the army. There's a project that the president did, that people who come from unfriendly states, that they feel that their rights or freedoms about gender or faith unequal, here they come to Russia, and they can get citizenship. He got the citizenship, but still he wanted to join the army. So now he's serving Russian army, and it's a show that people come. It's a sign that they believe in something. You know, they have idea. Different people are there. You know, there's a lot of village people. They want money. There's some are coming to fight for an idea. Some just want to sign a contract, get the money. Some are crazy people coming. You know, you can't have a war with sick people. And you know, now he's got the guns and he feels cool. The difference between Russian army and Ukraine army. We put people in jail if they do criminal things. You know, if somebody would, you know, we had to filter the people quite good, because you don't know when a person comes in what they have in their head, and only time will show what they really are after. But majority of foreigners, those were real people, and they saw the possibility to live in Russia, having their freedom rights protected and covered. Today I am just a soldier, and I can talk to generals straight to their face in a high position, high officials. I don't think that it's possible in any army that I can talk freely to a general. So foreigners, they see it, they watch, and you know, I have a lot of people that sign after me, and I tell them the story, what happens. And from Balkans came most of the volunteers. It's big plus for me, because people understand what they fight with, and this is why they are coming.
You know, in the history of the United States, we have the Abraham Lincoln Brigade went to fight fascism in Spain, and we glorify them. And we have many Americans who have gone to fight in Ukraine as part of the International Legion, and we glorify them. And yet somehow in the West, anybody who goes to fight in Donbassi, fight on behalf of Russia, are bad people. What are you going to do to help change this impression? Because your story is as noble a story as there is. And I believe that the story of your other foreign volunteers coming, that they're fighting for a cause that they believe in, they're fighting for a cause that is just. You're not fighting for fascism. You're not fighting for, you know, aggression. You're fighting to defend the homeland of Russia, to defend the Russian people. Nothing more noble than that kind of cause. What can you do to help change the international opinion of these volunteers?
One man, he cannot do much, but a lot of people can do a lot of things. There are people that are united. You know, we can't unite everyone, but you have to do your best. You have to do your best to carry the truth. The West doesn't want to see the truth. They don't want to hear the truth. You know, America is the biggest financier of the terrorism in the world. The main financiers are from Great Britain. You know, Ukrainians are just people that believe the lie, and they became neo-Nazis. No, majority of them are not like that. The ones that are fighting there, they're different. And I'm trying, I have a few channels of my own where I speak about the truth, showing what takes place. And I have received acknowledgements from USAID, and they called me the biggest propagandist of Russian Federation on Balkans in the countries there. It's a compliment for what I do. But I want to show who we fight there, so people would see that in Serbia, or maybe you're watching CNN, BBC, doesn't matter, there's Ukrainian channels. There is not much truth there. And if you cannot just speak with your words, but show the real cases, I'm sure you have seen how our forces took from Avdiivka. The last fire was that they all have neo-Nazis tattoos. You see a lot of flags with the Nazi signs, a lot of tattoos with Hitlers. Well, come on, who are we fighting for? We now speak about West. Okay, let's put America away. We speak about Europe now. We speak about united Europe, that's France, England. and Germany. They were all living over at the cost of other people. They were always living at the colonies' expense. They try to do it differently, but they can't do it now. The first concentration camp was created by British. And I've studied the history. I've studied the World War II, Great Britain and America. They were financing Hitler's, the banks. And during the war, not before the war, during the war. This is why I cannot support neo-Nazism at Ukraine. You know, if we talk about countries, I think that America will fall apart because you have a big problem, just like in Europe. The congressmen are old. They're, they're kind of sick in their head. They don't understand. They don't comprehend the real world. But they got a lot of money, and they're still having a lot more money. Greedy. They're gonna break apart. They don't care. What is it? Russia, United States, Ukraine. Look, these are the facts. These people exist. They do such criminal things, and it's not so difficult to prove. The problem is that the simple people listen to it, but they can't change much because in the past, the person, they had to work, pay the credit, put the gas in the car, work, pay for school, social insurance, and etc. He didn't care about politics. And now you can see how election takes place in Europe. Since it's not democracy, it's totalitarianism, and it's a pressure. And in Ukraine, we're not fighting really Ukrainian people. If you have your eyes and brains, it's not difficult to explain to a normal person. They sent them, what they do now, they are thrown out the Orthodox Church. They're putting in jail priests. And we publish how they do the cult things. Regular person, they come, they fight, they're normal, they're fighting for something fair. Just save those people. Plus, I have a lot of people from the Ukrainian territory that are. When there was a terror for Zakharchenko, for Motorola. From Ukrainian territory, I had messages coming to my devices that were asking to buy flowers and put on his grave. They see the real thing, but we should not be quiet. It's a serious threat. A lot of people would try to kill me. They burned my house to the ground. I have hundreds of problems going through, but it will not stop me because I know what I'm fighting for. I'm just by myself. Okay, tomorrow I die, nothing will happen. When a man takes a weapon in his hands, he understands that by one foot he's in a grave. But you have to fight till the end. We are the front line. On my friends at the front line, I'm not going to speak their names. I probably will never say their names, but you have to fight. We're small people, but big people, for example, presidents and the surroundings, they are fighting for us to have a better, easier fight. So Russia is the only state in the world that fights. Big generals are fighting they put governors, generals in jails for corruption. They are fighting there up, so we will have a easier job here down. So it's so intertwined. It's so connected. It's a chain, and it is weak where we have a weak chain link. So what the way I see it, I have to be strong myself, not wait till the end of the war. Wait for the victory at the war, because the end of the war is not the end. But if you take victory, then it's the end of the war for the long period. So you have to fight with the media. Also, you have to carry the truth about what takes. It doesn't matter how much it costs. You know probably what I speak about more than I do.
Well, look, this has been a fantastic conversation. I really have enjoyed speaking with you and learning from you, and I think the American audience will as well. I'd like to present you a copy of my book. It's about the danger of nuclear war and the importance of the United States and Russia working together to prevent nuclear war. I think as fellow warriors, we don't fight because we love war. We fight because we hate war, because we want peace. And I think you are a living testament to to that belief. And it's an honor and privilege to have talked to you. So,
Спасибо.
and
Я
one,
еще что-то хочу сказать.
Thank you. I want to tell you something. Okay, there's a signature. Thank you. I am listening to what people say. I have one person. She graduated from Cambridge. You know, she gives me a word citation, a word from the American army. They all are against the war. The generals in American army, they realize what the nuclear war can bring to the world. But unfortunately, the politicians, they don't understand and they don't care. That's what we need to work for. And right now, I'm using this opportunity. I have my own channel, and what I want to say that I want to take an interview from you when you come back to US. If you won't be arrested, I hope not, that you came to Russia. Let's have an interview.
100%. Я согласен. And one last thing. You have plenty of medals on your chest, and those are medals of war. I'd like to give you a medal of peace. This is my project, the project of working together, Russia and America, to achieve peace, to prevent nuclear war. So, from one warrior to the next, большое спасибо. This has been a special edition of the Russia House. Honor and privilege to interview not just a Russian hero, but a hero of humanity, a man who fights for peace. It's been an absolute